Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Elizabeth A. Corshu. I am the founder and CEO of Nurse Exec Innovations, a career coaching and global health consulting firm designed specifically for nurses, healthcare professionals, and healthcare organizations. I'm also the curator of the platform called Pass the Mic. Some of you are saying, what is Pass the Mic? Who is Pass the Mic? Pass the Mic is a platform created for visionaries, advocates, game changers looking to execute their global footprint into society in the areas of healthcare, business, education, technology, culture, and so much more. Tonight, I am so delighted to have the special guest, Helen Jones. Not only is she an expert in the area of nutritional coach as well as fitness instructor, but she's also a part of a tribe that I've known, our children have known each other since preschool. Yes, preschool. And she has a soon to be high school grad. Congratulations to her son. Congratulations if he's watching. Congratulations. Um, to it's just amazing. So to see all these years that we've been next to each other and we've been curating our own personal brands and never really tapped into each other's levels of, so it is my delight and pleasure to have her come and share her wonderful talents and gifts in regards to nutritional counseling, coaching, and a fitness instructor. So I wanted to share with you tonight before I zoom in and pass the mic over to Helen. So three highlights about Helen, right? She has recently launched her online fitness program that is hosted on Mondays and Thursdays. So yes, this woman, this phenomenal woman, just had a session 2 hours prior to this past night. She looks fabulous. Now her hair is all in place. She didn't have a drop of sweat, but she'll teach you about how to maneuver and do many things, right? Then the next thing I wanted to share is that she also is going to be part of a wellness event that is coming up. Stay tuned for details. You can even go to her website when she shares that information. It will be coming up June 2022. So keep your eyes out for that. And then third, I wanted to share with you, for those of you that are on my page or those of you that have seen the tag where I tagged Helen, yes, story. I have not had a cardio aerobic type workout. Have I had some type of a workout? Yes, I've walked the park, I've taken my nature walks, but by far, Helen's spin class is the most phenomenal cardio spin class that I've ever been in. And I've taken other spin classes with other instructors. So those are the three highlights that I wanted to share about Helen. I'm going to now pass the virtual mic to Helen, and I'm going to welcome her and ask her, as I'm passing the mic to her, to introduce herself and kind of share it with the audience and those that will catch the replay. What inspired you to take the journey to become a nutritional health coach and fitness instructor? Was that your initial career path, or was there something along the line that gave you an aha moment that said, I need to do this?
Yeah. Thank you, Liz. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me here. It's such an honor to be here and to be a voice, a conduit of health and promoting all the great things about it around this space. So, no, I was not, it wasn't something that I think I felt from birth or from being a little child. Honestly, it would probably, I say it developed in college.
Okay.
During my college years when I was stressed out, tired, exhausted, I decided that I needed to amp up, my physical activity. So I started to run. I ran in
Mm,
college, and I didn't run, on a scholarship or anything like that. This was completely me doing this outside of college for my good.
okay.
And I started running. Yeah. And at the time, the big thing in those days, right? Not to date myself, was aerobics, right? Everyone was doing aerobics, jumping around, and I enrolled in a local gym and started taking like group fitness classes as a participant and doing things like, boot camp and step aerobic was big for a while. So it kind of started there, but it was from the space of me being stressed. And I also had like digestion issues
Okay.
in college. And, we know what the menu is in college. So what it's like. So hence why I had like digestion issues, and I started to slowly but surely, start to hone in on what is it that I'm eating. But it first started with fitness.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing and being transparent in regards to digestive issues because a lot of times, it's interesting. We as youth will eat certain things and then we wonder why we're sluggish. Then we wonder why, our the bowels that, the things that are coming out of our body smell a certain way. We're
Mhm,
excreting certain odors and fumes and things like that. And it's all because of you are what you eat. So, thank you for in regards to that. So,
mhm,
um, how do you whenever there's a new year, right, everyone comes up with new year's resolutions or new year new me, new thing, new this. What are your thoughts in regards to intentions versus resolutions? How
mhm,
can a person, as a coach, as a nutritional coach, as a fitness instructor, how do you help a person shift their mindset from resolutions versus intentions? What are your
mhm.
thoughts about those two?
Now that's a very good question. So before I kind of answer that, just to segue in it and to frame it correctly, the nutrition school that I went to is called the Integrative Institute for Nutrition.
Okay.
And the approach that they take is in training us was a very holistic approach, meaning that we don't just focus on helping a client to just achieve one little goal without looking at the whole picture. Let's say, for example, someone has the desire to maybe lose weight.
Okay.
Sometimes there are other factors in people's lives that affect the food choices that they make. Could be
Hmm.
career, right? Could be finances. So, we look at the whole approach along with the client and have them really dig deep into the other elements of their life because it could be a trigger. Sometimes it's finances, right? They could
Hmm.
be going through a hardship and maybe their choices are limited, and hence maybe why they may be putting on weight or maybe have high cholesterol and things like that. So that's one thing to frame is the approach is really holistic. Um, but as far as intentions are concerned, what I try to do is really have the client refocus their intention on their why, because the
Mm.
why is the thing that is going to drive anyone to keep pressing on, keep moving on without giving up. Um, and again, like I said, it has to be something that is from within the person.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
example, back to weight loss, which is very, very common that it comes up, weight loss, weight loss. Um, Having someone dig into their why, it could be something as simple as the person's desire to be able to play with their grandchildren.
Hmm.
And I really try to, have them and feed on that and capitalize on that desire to be the driving force as opposed to reaching a particular number on a scale.
Yes, yes, and I can so relate to that because, you know, as most those of us that have our lives today and in this pandemic, most have really either binge watched, eaten all kinds of foods that are unhealthy. I'm speaking for myself. You know, I always say that laboratory results. are like a report card. They don't lie. The laboratory results do not lie. Okay.
Mhm.
Can they shift? Can they change? Can they shift and change based on, like you said, with your intervention, eating, healthy eating, in divine intervention? I do believe in regards to eating, definitely, it can shift, but you have to, like you said, it has to come from within. You have to identify, okay, my cholesterol level is kind of up there. Okay, my hemoglobin A1C, that's the number that, those that have diabetes,
Mhm.
that number is elevated. Oh, okay, that number is kind of high. Oh, this is good. So you have to have a realistic approach and look at yourself, just like the song by Michael Jackson. I'm starting with the man in the mirror,
Mhm.
and I'm asking him to change his ways, her ways,
Mhm.
change it to the pronoun she, her ways.
Okay.
So, with that being said, I thank you for sharing that because it's so important. And it mentioned about, the importance of what you're eating, what you're drinking. And, I've been drinking alkaline, I don't know if you can see this, alkaline
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I have to say, I really thoroughly enjoyed that spin class because while you were sharing, coaching us through, the different moves and things that we need to do, I am a big proponent of affirmations, and I love the fact that one of the one of the affirmations that came on to me like magnet was I can and I will. Yeah,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
one right there, where people tell me, "Oh, you can't do that, Liz. You can't do it," and I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay,
Watch me.
well." And one of the things I never knew, we were so much alike because when our children used to be playing basketball and we knew that our kids wanted to win the game or do what they, and the two of us, we were like, yeah, they got this, we know. Even if sometimes I think it was the last few final minutes to the quarter, it was so interesting because the two of us, we would go in our separate corners. Now I know I was praying in the corner. Maybe you were too. And then we would come back. And then we would come back and you were like, oh, they got it. So I love the fact that affirmation, I can and I will. And there was another affirmation said, and I can't remember right now, but definitely, for those of you that are watching tonight and watching the replay, she's all about affirmations. She's all about fun. And the music that the variations of music, I know I'm speaking a lot. The variations of music was all genres. So I love that, how you,
Mhm.
brought the genre in. So my next question to you
Mhm.
is basically, thank you for that. Or what are some of the health concerns, um, that I know we talked about weight loss because that's a given. People are like, oh, I want to lose, you know, uh, 50 pounds in a month. Now we know that losing 50 pounds in a month is not healthy.
Yo.
It's not healthy. Not healthy. Can it be done? I've seen it, but I'm going to repeat. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. And it's not going to be for the long term. Okay.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, what are some key health concerns that most people would seek your expertise?
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good question. So, we mentioned weight loss. The other is lack of healthy food nutrition planning, meaning like people will come with the desire to, well, they envision that they want to eat healthy, but they're lost as to how to get started. Then there's a lot of information, right, that we can Google, we can check this, you go on YouTube, you're overwhelmed. So I feel like a lot of the people that come, they know some of the key things, but they are overwhelmed with information. And the other is, I would say, lack of an exercise schedule.
Okay.
So, they'll we'll get into the discussion of, are you active, or, do you have a routine? And it's, well, I do this, every now and again. but there's not a commitment on their part, and it's finding, again, it's finding what works for that individual so
Yeah.
that it will feel almost organic for them to
Okay.
get up and exercise, and that it doesn't feel like a chore.
I like that. Can you repeat that word? It doesn't feel like it's
A chore. A chore.
organic.
Yeah. Oh, that it's organic. Yeah.
Organic, yeah. Because
Mhm.
a lot of people will start off the brand new year or the mid year or towards the end they're saying, I want to do X, Y, and Z. It becomes a chore and it's not organic. It should be just as easy as drinking this bottle of water. Just when you
Mhm.
just it should just be like ebb and flow, like your
Mhm.
heartbeat. I always say your heartbeat just we're sitting here, we're talking, we're having this live. We're beating, and blood is perfusing throughout our body. Just like the same way ocean tidal waves just rise and fall, rise and fall. There's no restriction. There's no one stopping. So I thank you for sharing that. Yes, it's very
Mhm.
important to be organic with the exercise and be consistent.
Mhm.
So in regards to food and nutrition planning, one of the key things I keep hearing a lot about food and nutrition planning, a lot of there's a new wave. I don't know if it's going to be a trend or if it's here to stay, but a lot of people are talking about moving to plant-based diet. You know, if you have somebody that loves to eat, meat, meat, and all of a sudden they say to you, well, my doctor said that if I don't drop this cholesterol level, if I drop my sodium, my blood pressure, if I don't do this, I'm going to be at a higher risk for a heart attack, I'm going to be at a higher risk for diabetes. Or some people are diagnosed with autoimmune disease.
Mhm.
Some are diagnosed with systemic lupus. There are some people that have, all types of, maybe some diagnosed with cancer. And once again, I'm here to say that things can reverse based on what you eat, your medication plan as planned by your physician, and also, like you said, you talked about stress, what's going on. So how um what do you suggest when it comes to food and nutrition planning? Like if somebody comes and says, I want to go from eating all red meats and all kinds of meats to now a plant-based diet, how would you
Mhm. Yeah.
deal with that approach?
Mhm. So first and foremost, it's whether they have clearance from their medical practitioner, from their doctor to do so.
Mhm.
Because yanking something out, could have implications on that person, and that's out of my scope to be able to, say, hey, you know, um, you should do this, should do that. It's a matter of collaboration first with their doctor to get clearance, and then, I am the role of a health coach is to be a guide on the side. So yes, I can give you information that's probably available to anyone, and we can collaborate, sure, on exploring. It's an exploration of what
Mhm.
works for that individual. So if they come and they want to make that choice, I am able to, have conversations with their medical practitioner in a three-way conversation. If they want something specific to treat high cholesterol, something specific that's out of scope, that might be something that I may need to refer out to a nutritionist
Okay.
or a dietitian. But
Okay.
the coaching element involves really the behavior change.
Okay.
It's about the behavior change. But resources, yes, sure, of course. But it is clearance from their medical practitioner, and then how can we coach them into finding the solution that's going to stick?
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like the key words. You talked exploration. It's an exploration. And I loved how you said, what was the last thing? Sticking to the plan.
Hmm.
Because that goes hand in hand with consistency, and that goes
Hmm.
hand in hand with the affirmation that you kept reiterating on Saturday, that I can and I will. I
Right.
think you should have a T-shirt made.
Never know.
um, and in regards to exercising, so you have someone. Okay, take me an example. You have someone who that was always very active, and I have a heart condition related to pregnancy, but it's everything has been since resolved since 2003. But I am very mindful of watching my blood pressure and stress and all, and that's very important in regards to maintaining a healthy heart. But as you know, as we're getting older, and the things that we did when we were in our 20s, we could still do, but in some level of moderation. Like I can just jump up and start running 20 laps like when I was in high school.
Hmm.
It takes a little bit. It's going to require a little bit more conditioning. So with that being said, someone like myself or anyone who might have been uh, or like my twins would like to call it, retired athlete. You said you ran track. So what would you recommend in regards to getting back into the exercise realm and things like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question. First, it's exploring what the person enjoys doing. Okay, it's back to that word, exploring. You have to find what they enjoy doing, and it has to literally come from what do you enjoy doing?
Okay.
Um, what do you enjoy doing that doesn't cause you pain? There's a lot of what and how. How
Mm-hmm.
do you envision yourself? What kind of routine would you envision yourself being able to, feed into consistently?
Mm-hmm.
So we explore what they enjoy, um, how they can do it, and we literally as a coach, you set SMART goals. We set the SMART goals. We set them up so that I'm holding them accountable for the
Yeah.
goals that we set. But exploring the exercises really has to come from, the person to say that I enjoy dancing. So have you checked out Zumba? Zumba is very inexpensive. Zumba is available everywhere. Um, so it's a matter of, a good coach does not do a lot of talking. A good coach does a lot of listening
Mm-hmm.
and again draws out from the individual. So for yourself I would be like digging and digging and digging
Okay. So.
until you came up with your own solution, because what happens is the person builds self rapport.
Okay.
When the person curates their own solution, they build self rapport, and they
Mhm.
start to it's sort of their own self affirmation
Okay.
that this I actually created this, and this is customized for me. uh, So as far as fitness, it would be again starting from those baby steps that I described, leading into the person actually saying, "Hey, you know what? I am going to get on that bicycle. I love bike riding," or
Okay.
whatever the case may be. So,
So if somebody says to you, "Oh, and I used to be a avid salsa dancer. Can you help me? Do you help them find salsa
I would,
classes, or do you give them a link?"
yeah, yeah. I mean, I could. I mean, I'm within the network now of the fitness, so I can,
Okay. Or
check
somebody,
with
I'm
them.
gonna really now take it to a whole nother level. Like I used to tap dance, and I'm actually there's another someday I'll connect you guys.
Hmm.
She's Harlem, and I saw her. She like revived. I saw her tap dancing. So tap dancing, that's a whole nother art. I feel like it's a lost art. It's a great cardio
Hmm.
workout. So
Yeah.
anyway, I digress. But the next question I have for you is basically what are some recommendations as a nutritional coach or fitness instructor do you have for people that are experiencing insomnia? They're having difficulty sleeping. As you may or I'm pretty sure you're very aware of
Yep.
their themes of people since this pandemic has hit. I mean, even before the pandemic hit, there are people that have had issues with difficulty sleeping, but more so, the pandemic has curated a level of insomnia to unfathomable numbers.
Right.
So what do you recommend in regards to
Hmm.
if somebody comes to you and tells you I'm having difficulty sleeping
Hmm.
um, and so forth?
Yep, very good question again. It would be focusing on what their routine is like. So, say for example, the word bedtime has the word time in it, and the
Mm,
time has to be respected. So, finding out, okay, how many hours are you getting? What's the environment like in your home? Do you have a device shutdown time? Because that's one thing that keeps our minds going is the longer we're on our phones and we're swiping, our minds keep racing. So, really encouraging people to have a set time to go to sleep, shutting down that device, and really making your bedroom sacred is key. So, meaning free of, your flat screen, whatever you have in there, no laptop, no desktop, no devices, making your bedroom just your room to sleep. Another thing also is, what time are you eating dinner? Because sometimes if, you tend to eat a little bit late, it might keep you wired up. And, it's hard for you, you got to go through the digestion and all this, that, and the other. So, really scoping out what's going on in those areas are what I've had experience with.
mhm,
But if
mhm.
you listen to everything that I'm saying, it has to do with environment and habit.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Wow.
So those are the things that I would say.
Have you also explored, I'm going to use your word, have you explored areas where someone tells you, okay, done, I've done the quiet time, I've turned off the music, the electronics, I've respected the time. You said bedtime. I like how you said bedtime has time in it, respect the.
That's fun.
I've done all those things. I read on your website. I don't want to mispronounce it. It starts with an A. Arajiva. I can't. I don't know.
Ayurvedic.
Okay. Talked about importance of aromatherapy.
Mhm,
Um, certain scents in the air
mhm.
and things like that. Is there
Yeah.
any particular recommendation that you make?
Yeah. Well, there's definitely things like lavender, right? Things that are calming. There's the essential oils, ultimately what it is, and there's also herbal teas, things like chamomile that are relaxing, and they, calm you down and are nice things to have, uh, help you to kind of unwind from the day before bedtime. Those are things that are, they're pretty known, but yes, there's a whole nother area there that the client can explore.
They can explore. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. So, so in regards to a quick and easy exercise, especially for those of us that have now kind of transitioned, because of the pandemic, people have transitioned from regular office um, work space to now being in their home environment space. And,
Mhm,
and being in the home environment space that has put on a level of different challenges because now you're either in the home with other children, your husband, elder parents, dogs, every name it. And there might be less area to really ambulate and move around and things like that. Is there any particular quick exercises or stretches that you
mhm.
can recommend or anything?
Yeah, of course. So, well, first is breathing. There's simple, there's a breathing technique called 478. You can look it up. It's very popular. And that is actually something that just in the breathing alone helps to relax you. Um, finding a It's difficult if you're in a small place, but you have to find somewhere where you can separate, from everyone else living at home. And, simple, some of the yoga stretches are very, very nice and relaxing. You'll hear things, if you explore or ever have in yoga, like downward dog, all these elongating where you're elongating your muscle and you hold them there and do these nice long static stretches where you're holding it for a couple seconds. You've heard of neck rolls and, rolling your shoulders back and forward and side reaching like that. Yeah, exactly, Liz. Are you relaxed? That's so
Okay.
there you go. Well, I mean, doing things like that usually, even if you go to take any fitness class, at the end of a fitness class, those are the types of things that we're doing to relax your body. So
Yes,
really
yes.
stretching, if I could say,
Hmm.
for lack of a better words, are the things that you would do to really help, relax your body before bedtime.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And one of the things I realized for myself, I had to find ways to get up. I had to like move around. I had to get up and
Yes.
because I was finding that my buttocks were sore.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that I had to do like leg lifts underneath my desk because I felt like my legs were getting heavy. I was like, oh no, I gotta get up and move. So yeah, thank you much for that recommendation. Now, is there any quick particular exercise that you could recommend for someone that is, experiencing stress? I mean, I laugh because a lot of my nursing colleagues, I was like, wow, you didn't used to be an avid walker before. Is there any quick? I know you said breathing. That's a great one.
Yeah.
There other
Yeah.
exercises you recommend?
Yeah. The breathing, stretching, and walking.
Walking. Okay, great.
Walking is really it.
Okay.
And really, it depends on the age group. Of the age of the individual.
Hmm.
But those are the ones I would say: stretching, breathing, walking.
Stretching, breathing, walking. Thank you.
Hmm.
So that it's stretching, it's breathing, and it's walking. And breathing definitely helps to regulate the mind, and it helps to regulate the heart rate because a lot of people are experiencing levels of anxiety, levels of depression, and the regulating the mind and bring it to a level of peace can help it to calm. Now you're finding that still not helping, as I've always said, there are experts, there are people that are licensed, trained clinicians in areas. So if you find that you need assistance in the mental health arena, I'm telling you right now, it's okay. Let's normalize finding and seeking a therapist if you need to have someone to talk to. That's just me sharing my 2 cents as a healthcare professional.
Yeah.
So, is there a particular fitness class among your wonderful opportunities to
Mhm.
have exercise? Is there any particular class that your audience loves to attend, or is it pretty much
Mhm.
the whole gamut? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. It depends on the age group, because like you spoke earlier, with what people are able to do physically with their bodies is a big driver. But what seems to be trending, as the
Okay,
kids
trendy.
say,
I like that.
yeah, what's trending now? What's trending? Yeah, what's trending is a lot of the step is back. Remember the big
Really?
step? The step is
Really?
back. Yeah, if you feed through, I mean, just look through social media, through the reels on, Instagram or Facebook, you now have a lot of fitness instructors bringing back in step. Uh, and it's
Wow.
just it's in now.
Are
It's
you gonna
back.
bring that back?
You know what? I was thinking about it because I have one downstairs.
Wow,
So,
I got rid of my step. That means
it,
I gotta go buy a step thing again.
yeah, you got to reinvest
Wow,
in a
those
step.
things were bulky. They should have made like a new wave step, like make it compact that you could, anyway,
Fold it or
that's
something.
another. Maybe I need to create that. I'll create one.
Hmm.
Compact step. Oh wow, that's cool. Anything
Step is.
else that's trending?
Yep. Cycling is big now, and it became even bigger with the pandemic and the launching of the Peloton bike. So
Okay.
the cycling is huge. Also, things that are related to music. I from what I've seen, it has always been the trend, but with the pandemic and now everyone able to get out and enjoy things
Yes.
that are really driven by music,
Hmm.
seem to be, quite trendy, as well as challenges, group challenges.
Group challenges. Okay, great,
Yeah,
great.
I've even seen franchises recently that are just based on challenges. They're
Really?
all over the place. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, maybe we have something to look forward to. Maybe you'll have a challenge in the future for us. So, are there what services do you currently offer? If
Mhm.
you can share some of the from, I know you
Yep.
have a lot, but if you could just share a few off the
Yep.
top of
And
your head.
in some, I'll sum it up into three. So it's really nutrition coaching. Um, that's the core. And there's the online fitness, and then there's the indoor cycling in person here at a local gym. So someone can come hang out with me in person if they're nearby. Otherwise, online fitness, and then it's really nutrition coaching.
Nutrition.
Those are the three. Mhm.
Now, before we close the segment for tonight, and I thank you so much for taking the opportunity to really share
You're
your
welcome.
talents and gifts. And I really, it's funny. I do have to share this, and I'm not going to even call the name of the mother. But that there was a mother. I remember when our kids were all playing basketball, in middle school. Said, "Oh my God, like, what does Helen do?" Helen always just seems to be so physically fit and like perfectly everything. And I said, me, I was just like, I don't know. Why don't you go ask her? I wasn't even, how our minds think as moms. We're like, okay, did I cook dinner? Did I do homework? Did I get the twins or Kais or this this practice, that practice? Did I get to go to my spa day? Did I get my pedi manicure? So worrying about the next person is so not my concern. I am more that person that says, why don't you go ask her so she can help you if that's what you want, that's what you want to look like. So I ask you to close out with three final thoughts, refreshing nuggets, because one of the things that I am sharing with the audience in this 2022 is that we are renewing, we are recentering ourselves, we are refocusing, and we're hitting the reset button. What
Mm.
would be your three final nuggets to share with the audience and those that will catch the replay?
Well, I might have 3.5. I don't know that I've got three. It might be 3.5, but
4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10.
might be 3.5 to 4 nuggets. No. So the
Okay.
first one is acknowledge, believe in your self-worth and capabilities, because I feel that we are capable, more capable than we realize.
Yes.
And folks tend to sit in and, shoulders down and forget how capable they are of tapping into strength and really, really expanding upon that. So that's the first one. The second is find an area within yourself where nothing is impossible and capitalize on it.
Say that again. That part. That part is. Say that again.
Find an area within yourself where nothing is impossible and
Find an
capitalize on it.
area within yourself where
Mhm.
nothing is impossible. Wow. I love
And,
that.
and, and
Yeah.
capitalize on it.
Capitalize on it. Okay. I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna have to write that down. I'm a voracious writing everything. Wow. That's wow. Okay, go ahead. Is there
Yep.
more?
And the next one is, and I say this a lot when I'm posting on social media, is to prioritize your health always. Don't let it take the back seat. It doesn't matter, what we're going through, our highs and lows, the busier times in our lives where, just like, oh, you know what, forget it. Well, don't prioritize it all way. Even if it's becomes number four because your children or what have to come, first and second and third, but leave it on the priority list. And then as life changes and we have our moments where things are not as crazy, it may rise up to the top, right? But don't ever not prioritize it. And then
Well, glad you
finally,
said that. I'm glad you said that because I'm going
mhm,
to be very transparent because that's who I am. Um, Last year, 2021, I don't usually go back, but I'm sharing this with someone who's watching right now who's not prioritizing. Oh, Pamela Jones said, "Great job, lady." Thank you, Pamela Jones. And I believe slow mo is Brian who said,
mhm,
well done, ladies. Thank you.
thank
So I what I told you, I opened up the segment saying that I had was in a level of overwhelm.
you.
No
Mhm,
lie. And part of the overwhelm was because as mentioned, it's important to put your your health,
Mhm.
prioritize your health. And because I was so focused on how are we going to get past and through this pandemic, and oh my God, the twins are gonna graduate, and are they going to have a graduation in person? Are they not going to have a graduation in person? What does it look like? Applications, college acceptance. How much money? How much this? So I'm glad you shared that, because someone who's watching right now, because I did experience pandemic overwhelm. I did allow it take. I allowed it to temporarily take over, mentally and physically, because there were things that were so. Um, I was inundated and bombarded with so many themes, not only from work, not only from personal life, not only from family life, not only from colleagues, and this, even my strong warriors that I call, I felt like I would call on them, and they were like
Yeah.
buckling apart.
Mhm.
So I thank you for sharing tonight. And
Yeah.
I do want to give you a fourth one: accountability. You need to have an
Mhm.
accountability partner. So I thank you for being an accountability partner, because without you knowing behind the scenes, you were like, oh, I'm going to have a spin class. Oh, I'm going to have, and I was, yes, Helen. Once I get that cardiac clearance, that heart clearance.
Oh, and are you coming?
Yeah.
Are you coming?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll let you know. So I want to say thank you. So what's the best way to get in touch with you, for those that are catching this live tonight, and those that are catching the replay, and those that will catch it in the future? Ways are to get it, the best way to get in touch with you.
Okay. And before I say that, number four, I didn't get to say number four. So number four
Hmm.
tip is, if you fall, get back up.
That's a simple one.
All right. No, seriously. But if anyone wants to reach me, you can follow me on Instagram at True Life Nutrition Health Coach. That's on Instagram. At True Life Nutrition Health Coach. On Facebook, I'm Helen Jones. It's quite simple. And if they want to check out my website, they sure can, www.truelifenutritionalhealthcoaching.com. And yeah, you'll reach me that way, and I'll connect with you. And yeah, I would love to see who else I can help. And that's how it goes. We start connecting social media and take it from there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So once again, I want to say thank you so much, Helen
Thank
Jones,
you.
the True Life nutritional health coach and fitness instructor. I'm so thankful, so honored, so blessed to have you to be part of my tribe. And
Thank
I
you.
want to say thank you, really, for inviting me to revival that was at the Oasis Christian Ministry Center out of Norway, because it
Hmm.
was a revival that revived me and gave me a moment, because that was a crossroads for me. I didn't really articulate that, but it was a very moving, and I'm sharing this with those that are watching tonight and catch the replay. You do need to have positive people within your circle, people that are going to speak life into you, like Helen and Candy Young, and there's so many other people that are way too many people to mention. But that revival was a movement that night, because it was a group of women from all walks of life, all industries, all cultures, all age groups, everything, talking about what is the importance of reading the scriptures, getting connected. How are we going to make it past, I call it the waiting room period, because all of us right now in this global pandemic, we're in a waiting room. We are waiting to see, almost like wait to exhale. We're waiting to see what this new world is going to look like without COVID, and with COVID is going to pass. So I thank you so much
You're
for that
welcome.
opportunity to go to that revival, because, like I said, I learned a lot within that revival, because revivals are an opportunity that makes you get closer to, you know, meditating, praying, writing in a journal, reading scriptures, practicing active forgiveness. There are a lot of people right now that need to forgive and
Yeah,
relinquish what is
definitely.
in their heart. And furthermore, finding inspirational quotes to hold on and hold on to hope and faith. So I thank you so much, Helen. And
You're welcome.
I thank my brother who's watching, who's is a rock, your rock. So thank you so much. And you have a
Mhm.
wonderful night, and
Yep,
God
thank you.
bless. And make sure, those of you that are watching, my name is Elizabeth A. Corshu. I'm the founder and CEO of Nurse Exec Innovations, career coaching brand designed specifically for nurses, healthcare professionals, and healthcare organizations. And please share this video, this live, enhance and inspire as many people as you can, because this
Mhm.
information needs to be shared. And thank you and God bless. Take
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for having me again, Liz.
anytime.
Take care.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.